Hello. I'd like to give a brief introduction to the multi-protocol card that's part of the SuperTrol 2 family. This device has both an Ethernet jack on the back with an internal web page, as well as an RS-45 port. To configure the unit, you're going to need to use a laptop with a Cat5 LAN cable. And in this case, the default IP address that comes with the unit is on a label on the side and is listed as 192.168.1.24. Your PC is going to have to be located on a similar subnet. When you go to your Explorer and you put in that IP address, what will come up is this configuration parameter. It's at this form that you're going to be making your changes to the IP address, as well as various select protocols. We've now selected the network settings, which are the only items that really would be used in the case of a Modbus IP. And you can see here that I've mapped this to a network in my home that's 192.168.99.42. It'll include some of the other basic settings, such as a net mask and disabling a THCP client. These are normally used with static IP addresses. There'll be a list there for the default gateway and some other items. The MAC address is also listed for your module. It's important to note that in SuperTrol 2 family devices, there's actually multiple processors. The main board, which does the main calculations, then there's a carrier board with its own processor, as well as the module that contains a multi-protocol. So once I've made my settings here, you'll notice that it says update settings only take effect after a system restart. If the IP address is changed, you're going to need to redirect your browser after a system restart. So we're going to close this part of the form here. And again, this is available in the lower left-hand side. And you can see that I can set the Modbus RTU baud rate for that RS-45 output. The other thing that's important to know is that the board-to-board communications within the unit is also a Modbus RTU data exchange. This means that in the SuperTrol 2, your network card settings there are a fixed 9600, no parity, that has to be configured for it to communicate with the multi-protocol. Now, once you've made your settings, either changes to the network card settings or the protocol, you hit the system restart button that again is down towards the bottom. And for a period of time now, the communications is going to go offline until the module reconnects after that time period. Now, the instrument itself will not show this restart. This will strictly be the multi-protocol module that's doing the restart. Now, other protocols can also be selected that have more complicated groups of settings. So suppose we look at the BACnet MSTP as an example. We can make that selection. Actually, here we selected BACnet IP. Again, it's going to do a restart, and then it's going to come up in the new settings. Now, once the module does that, there's going to be a host of additional settings that are required for BACnet. So now here we're seeing the customary groups of settings that you'll need to configure for your BACnet communications. One of the advantages of this is there's additional diagnostics supported for this. So we can go to Diagnostics and Debugging. and you'll start seeing a group of viewable variables. And these will be being populated with information off of the flow computer itself at this point. You have to be aware that some of these variables are unsigned integers that are being actually represented as floating point numbers. And some of these tools may not necessarily interpret that data for you. You might just be seeing change data. Personally, I like using a KEP server in a quick client as my receiver of information where possible. Okay, when we get finished with this, we can go back to the basic operation on it. We can do one final system restart, for example, if we made any changes somewhere along the line. And again, this will only be the multi-protocol that's rebooting. There's a variety of protocols, as you can see in the list, that you can select for various operations. KP pre-configures only a portion of these when you place an order for the instrument, so the group of configuration parameters that you see will be the defaults for that protocol. I hope this quick introduction will help you with your configuration of the multi-protocol communications in the SuperTrol 2 family. Thank you very much and have a good day.